Yes, he does.
When are you going to get the acoustics in this place fixed? Just ask the audio visual people over in the city council chambers. But anyway, okay. Trying to figure out how to, Dr. Tom Williams, Sierra Club Central Group Reorganization Committee and LA 32 Neighborhood Council. Basic problem, curb cuts. In 1972, we got the first curb cut in Berkeley. Long time ago. But right now, on Mission Road in Lincoln Heights, are 4 times 2 curb cut needs. It's next to the medical center on Mission at Setchell and at Workman. And on the back of the card, I have indicated where they need to be done. At a medical center, no curb cuts. And you can't get the access to the south curb of Mission Road unless you go through a driveway. Oh yeah, well, there's a lot of driveways. But that's number one. When is it going to be done, if ever? And by the way, I hear that the state law allows recovery of judicial costs. But anyway, next one. You have a very good process system called Pavan. However, it's not publicly accessible. So when I try to find out about the Soto widening, I can't get access to it because I don't have a federal ID number. I used to be able to get access to it, but not anymore. So no, not for me alone, but there should be a public access number for the Pavan database. Elsewise, I'm going to come back with a PRA for everything about Pavan. So either it's a publicly accessible document or it's not. So just a simple add a public access ID number to it.
2 minutes.
Thank you. You
don't have a timer? Thank you, Dr. Williams. Sure. No other cards for general public comment, so we will close general public comment as well as the neighborhood council category of commentary. Is there a second to my motion that we approve the meeting minutes from the meeting of Wednesday, July 26, 2017 by Commissioner Rivas? Any objection? Without objection, we will approve those meeting minutes. I have a couple of housekeeping items first. Agenda item number 13. Is the bus bench. Request for removal of a bus bench at 557 South Spring Street in Council District 14. At 8:40 this morning, we received a request from the. I normally don't put the time well, I will notify usually on the record who requested the continuance, but because the continuance came in at 8:40 this morning, we got the request from the council office. The council office wants about 2 more weeks to continue to do some work on this. So I apologize to the folks that came this morning that we didn't get notice to earlier. But I have told the council office that we will continue it one more time to August 30th, which is a Wednesday. That is a Wednesday, correct?
Wednesday, August 30th,
right.
Yes.
And we'll have the hearing on Wednesday, August 30th. Yes, Randy? Okay.
The following week, I'll be back at Friday, the Friday, which is that Friday right before Labor Day, and I'll be here after that, but I am out of town that day.
Okay, so I will accommodate you as a party to this to be here. So you're out the week of August 16th. Oh, I'm sorry, the week of August 28th. So what's the following Wednesday?
That would be Wednesday, September 6th.
Wednesday, September 6th. Are you in town, Ms. Bartolo? Okay. Wednesday, September 6th. And I'll let the council office know that we're going to do it Wednesday, September 6th. So that will be, actually, yeah, we'll do it Wednesday, September 6th. Let me just send that now. and then that will be the date. Okay. Agenda items, thank you all, on agenda item number 13. Agenda items, I'm going to the Council District 14, 5 through 11, and number 14. So that's 5 through 11, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then up to number 14. Mr. Ledoux? So these are the outstanding above-ground facility hearings that we have for Council District 14.
Correct.
We have, Dr. Campbell, so there are a few others that are not yet agendized because we're holding the tolling agreements until we get some resolution.
At this point, Mr. President, all items have been agendized
Okay.
for CD 14 regarding AGFs or above-ground facilities. What you do have is you have two buckets floating around in terms of when you will consider those.
Got
You
it.
have one bucket today, and then you have another bucket coming this Friday.
Okay, so let's deal with today's bucket. And the message is going to be the same for the Friday bucket as well, but unless we have some hearings on Friday. But because I've gotten another email request that you've seen regarding today's agenda items, correct?
Correct.
And the parties have again asked for another 2 weeks. That's my recollection.
Yes.
And the applicant has agreed to toll the shot clock for that time so we don't lose any of the statutory time, which we appreciate. But because we've continued it so many times, I'm concerned that we aren't making progress. And I'm hearing that we do have resolution potentially on some of the items.
That's what I've been told directly by the consultant.
Okay, so what I would like to do then is we'll give this one more continuance to the 30th because I'm out the 28th on city business. So we'll move it to Wednesday the 30th. And we will, and I'm going to insert myself into the next meeting that's going to take place in this window. And you can just pass on for the above ground facilities that are, and Commissioner Cento, if you want to as well, we can do two of us. For the above ground facilities that we have resolution on, let's go ahead and get those out of the hopper. Let's get those agendized we'll put them all on August 30th, but the ones that we have agreement on, let's get those dealt with on August 30th. The ones that we still have some issues, Commissioner Cento and I can get in the meeting and assess what those issues are, and then we can determine whether we should agendize them or whether they warrant an additional continuance. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And I will communicate that to them.
Great. That's what we'll do for the ones that are on the agenda today then. Okay? Is that okay with everybody? Okay. Mr. Campos, yes.
Yeah, and if I could just ask Mr. Ledoux if you can just get AT&T to confirm that Wednesday, August 30th as well in writing. Because I believe this tolling right now stands as of Monday, August 28th, and I understand, President James, your request to continue it to Wednesday the 30th. So just if you can just follow up with AT&T, get confirmation that they're okay with the additional 2 days for tolling.
Okay, will do.
Yeah, the safest thing, though, today, well, we know we have it tolled until August the 28th.
Correct.
So you'll just get Dr. Campos an email confirming until the 30th. Because if you have to, Fernando, you can agendize it for the 28th and I'm gone.
And then continue.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and get their agreement. Just let them know I'm not going to be here on the 28th. And could we have until the 30th? In the meantime, I'll sit down with the group, with Commissioner Cento, and we'll figure out which ones we have agreements on and which ones we don't. All right? Thank you, sir. That'll be the order for today. So that takes us from, up to items 13. But let's start with agenda item number 1. Task order solicitation number 1, Parsons Environment and Infrastructure Group. Authorize the city engineer to issue the task to Parsons from the pre-qualified on-call wastewater and environmental engineering services consultants list to provide project management and process engineering support services as stated in task order solicitation number 1, with a cost ceiling not to exceed $8 million, including contingency. Dr. Williams, you have a card on number 1. You're up, sir.
I love sewers. Dr. Tom Williams, previous employee for 20 some odd years with Parsons Corporation, but haven't been working for them for the last 20 years. But anyway, you're facing a new issue that's coming up. Direct potable reuse. Hyperion is not a suitable location for direct potable reuse if you want the west of LA to be served by recycled water. However, downtown LA and say out to the Fairfax area should be investigated by Parsons as part of an overall, hey, try having a sewage treatment plant for direct potable reuse at above 250-foot elevation. That is, say from Fairfax into downtown, because we're going that way. I'm going to the MWD this afternoon to express similar requirements. Rather than having a water fix tunnel under the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. I call it the peripheral tunnel rather than the peripheral canal. But it needs to have some work done in the city of LA regarding how can you best use direct potable reuse treatment to serve the downtown, Fairfax, South Central area of LA. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. I have a card from Greg Jenkins, but there's no agenda item. I'm guessing it was for 13. Is Mr. Jenkins here? Oh, you had general public comment? Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead, sir. Well, we've called number 1, so let's deal with number 1. Then we'll come back to you. Sorry about that. We'll just have to make sure when we get our cards in that we have the agenda item or general public comment. So, Mr. Cirillo on number 1.
Good morning, Mike Cirillo with the Bureau of Engineering. This is a task order for project management and process engineering support, but before I get into the task order, I'd like to frame it with a little bit about our consultant usage in the Bureau of Engineering, in particular the wastewater program. So for the past 20 years...
One moment, Mr. Cirillo. Mr. Jordan, can I go back to general public comment now and get it taken care of so he doesn't have to sit here for all this and get his comments heard and come back to number 1?
Yes, Mr. President, if you would like, you could reopen general public comment and allow the speaker to speak now.
Yeah, I'd like to do that, Mr. Cirillo. Okay. Mr. Jenkins, go ahead, sir. Sorry about that. I didn't want you to have to sit here any additional time than necessary. So go ahead, sir.
My name is Greg Jenkins, and I am the president of the Brigadoon Owners Association in Highland Park, and this is regarding the recycler program rates. We currently are serviced by Republic Services and paying $175 per month for 2 pickups for 2 bins per week. Under the new recycler program, it's going to 3 pickups a week, and our rates are going from $175 to $797, a 455% increase. I've called the city 800 number for Recycla. They referred me over to the universal waste vendor who called me back and told me there was nothing they could do about the rates. They were set in stone by the city, and they were just following the city contract. So I'm wondering who I can talk to about getting these rates reviewed and possibly reduced. The access charge and the distance fees are more than the trash pickup fees.
So, any other comment?
No, I have some
Okay, so
packets.
you have information here on your speaker card. So what we'll do is copy your information
Okay.
and send it to the appropriate person at the Bureau of Sanitation,
Okay.
and you'll get a response back.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? Thank you. Any other for general public comment? Okay, then we'll close general public comment. Mr. Cirillo on number 1.
Okay. So again, this is a task order for project management and process engineering support services, but I'd like to start out with a sort of a big picture in the wastewater program and how we use consultants. So for the past 20 years, we've been utilizing consultants as a flexible tool in our program. So as the workload picks up, we can quickly expand our resources, and as the work slows down, we can quickly cut our resources. It's much easier to do that with consultants than it is with city staff, as we all know. So the consultants have been really providing us that flexibility, as well as providing us with specialized technical expertise that the Bureau does not currently have. Task order 1 and the following task orders are for staff augmentation for the wastewater reclamation plant program, which is delivered by EED. This is a 5-year contract that they'll be under, and basically the old contract expired, so we're here requesting authorization to award new task orders for the next 5-year contract. And these consultants will be located in city offices, so they're integrated within the city staff, which allows for integration on workflow and efficiencies. The value of these task orders, this one and the following, was based on anticipated workload over the next 5 years. So what we did is we looked at what EED awarded over the previous 5 years, and that was about $390 million worth of work. And we projected ahead the next 5 years, and we're actually anticipated to award about $600 million. Even though we're scheduled to have an increase in workload, we're maintaining the same consultant usage from the past 5 years to the next 5 years. In other words, I didn't increase these budgets at all from what they were the previous 5 years. Now, you may be wondering, well, how are we going to do the work? We have been adding positions to the city budget incrementally, and the hope is that we can continue to do so and then offload some of that work to some of the city staff that are added to the budget. So let me get into specifics about task order number 1 now. This is for project management support and process engineering. The project managers basically lead the delivery process for the division. So they initiate the project, they oversee the pre-design and design phase, and basically take the project all the way from inception to completion. They're responsible for managing the budget and the schedule for the project, and the process engineers will resolve and troubleshoot complex wastewater issues in conjunction with LA SAN. We received 7 proposals on this task order, and a senior staff of BOE/ED senior civil engineers reviewed the proposals in accordance with the selection criteria in the task order. And Parsons was selected for the following reasons. They were among the lowest price. They brought expert project managers with proven track record of delivery. They've been very responsive to our needs, and they're familiar with the city policies and procedures, and so they scored the highest in the ranking system. They also exceeded the MB, WB, SB, and EB numbers listed in the task order. Therefore, it's for these reasons that we're recommending the award of this task order to Parsons.
Thank you for the kind of overall context, Mr. Cirillo. We appreciate that. It's helpful. Commissioner Cinto.
Thank you, President James. Mike, good to see you again. This is important. We do a lot of work in wastewater, and it's good to know that we're going to be increasing our scope of work from about $400 million to $600 million, but we're not really increasing the amount that, as you stated, that we're absorbing that in-house. I think that's a good rationale. It's a prudent use of our additional staff put in the work. My question is, so there was 24 on the on-call list, 7 submitted,
Yes.
and we vetted them, and Parsons came out.
Yes.
And their numbers in terms of their MEB-WEB numbers are, well, their WBE numbers are almost 3 times the amount. They're at 12%, and they were
That's correct.
anticipated 4. So they did a great job there in terms of women business enterprise. Are they new to this, or are they a new group that's doing this TOS, this PM, process engineering services, or are they a repeat?
It was structured a little bit different on the previous on-call. They were actually PM/CM.
Okay.
And now it's PM/process. We restructured things a little bit to make it a little more efficient for us. So they had a part in the previous program, but not in this exact role.
But they are continuing as.
Yeah, they're
in
bringing
this
some
primary
back,
role.
some of the same staff back that they had in the previous task order.
All right. Well, I'm happy to support this. This is important, and we did a good job in vetting them and getting a good company. So thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Rivas.
I just want to thank you for the overview also. Very helpful to understand how you're not increasing the budget, but then the work, how you're going to still complete the work, by adding city engineers to the city. And also, it's great that this contractor met all anticipated participation levels, from what you had anticipated. So that's also great to see. So I'm happy to support this.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Rivas. Anything further? Is there a motion on agenda item number 1 by Commissioner Cinto, seconded by Commissioner Rivas? Any objection? With that objection, we will adopt agenda item number 1. Any issue sending it forthwith? We will send number 1 forthwith. Number 2, task order solicitation number 2, Brown and Caldwell. Recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to issue the task to Brown and Caldwell. This is under contract C129647 from the pre-qualified on-call wastewater and environmental engineering services consultants list to provide design engineering support services as stated in task order solicitation number 2 with a cost ceiling not to exceed $9 million, including contingency. Mr. Cirillo on number 2.
Okay, so obviously all the language I talked about before about the consultant usage applies to this task order as well. This is the second one of 4 today. This task order provides for design engineering support services, so this will be in our technical section of EED. And under this task order, we hire technical experts such as mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, structural engineers, civil engineers, and instrumentation engineers. They're the ones that are actually doing the technical design work for us, putting the pen to paper, so to speak, and actually producing the designs. They're also the ones that will be stamping the plans with their professional engineering stamps to certify that the design meets all codes and is a safe design. We received 7 proposals, and again, the same senior management staff reviewed these proposals as well. I kept a continuity through all these task orders and had the same staff reviewing all of them. Brown & Caldwell was ranked the highest for the following reasons. They had very competitive pricing due to their extensive use of sub-consultants. You can see in the table in the board report that they're subbing out about 42% of the work to subs, and by doing so, they were able to bring their cost structure down. They bring extensive reclaimed water expertise using membrane and disinfection technologies that we've been looking at. We are moving towards a direct potable reuse direction, and including the use of reclaimed water. And Brown Caldwell has been involved in that deeply in other agencies. They are the joint program manager for the San Diego Pure Water Program, which is a $2.7 billion program to use reclaimed water, and Brown Caldwell is one of the program managers down there. They're also leading the pilot testing at our DC Tillman facility, where we've tested various membranes and technologies at DCT to evaluate some technologies that we might be able to take forward into our designs. So they've been instrumental in that as well, so they really bring a lot of technical expertise in that area, which is, I think, going to be our focus going forward, so that was important to us. They're also part of the One Water LA team, so they're helping us do our planning efforts as part of One Water to decide what projects we want to implement as we go forward. And they have a proven track record. They've done some designs for us in the past, and those designs have turned out very well with low change orders, so we're happy with their performance. They have also exceeded the MB, WB, SB, EB numbers in the task order as well. So for this reason, we're recommending an award to Brown & Caldwell.
Any questions on agenda item number 2? I don't have any questions on number 2. Commissioner Sindel made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 2, seconded by Commissioner Rivas. Any objection? With that objection, we will adopt agenda item number 2. Any issue sending number 2 forthwith? We will send number 2 forthwith. Thank you, Mr. Cirillo. We're going to go to number 17. Number 17, subcontractor substitution, Servitech Solutions, Incorporated, Council Districts 4 and 5. Recommending the board concur with the action of Commissioner Davis, approving the request of Servitech Solutions Incorporated for the subcontractor substitution of Advantage Directional Drilling with Ventura Directional Drilling to perform half of the directional drilling and jacking portion of the work, and Premier Broadband Services Incorporated to perform the remaining portion of the work for the West Side Unit 3 series to multiple high voltage conversion street lighting project. Mr. Smith. Oh, Mr. Espinoza.
Espindola, yes.
Mr. Espindola, I'm sorry.
Hey, good morning.
I thought I got a revision for, that's 19 and 21. You're here on 17.
Yes,
Go
I
ahead,
am.
sir.
Yes, good morning. I'm George Pindola with the Bureau of Contract Administration. The Bureau received a request on July 6, 2017 from Servitech Solutions to substitute their bid-listed subcontractor, Advantage Directional Drilling, a OBE subcontractor, for directional drilling and jacking operations with Ventura Drilling, a WBE SBE contractor, and Premier Broadband Services, a OBE contractor. The request was accompanied by a letter from Advantage Directional Drilling withdrawing from their portion of the work. The bid listed amount for Advantage Directional Drilling was $196,427. Ventura Directional Drilling and Premier Broadband Services will perform the work for $197,000. Servitech will reduce their participations by $572,096. So the work performed by Ventura Drilling and Premier Broadband will be at no cost to the city. The Bureau concurs with the recommendations of Commissioner Davis to approve the substitution.
Mr. Espindola, what happened here that we're substituting these subs at this time on the project?
The contractor, because of scheduling reasons, they were not able to do the work that was stated on their letter of withdrawal.
So it was availability of the subs?
Correct.
Okay. Anything further on number 17? Commissioner Davis has made a motion that we adopted number 17, seconded by Commissioner Jacinto. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 17. Any issues sending it forthwith? We'll send number 17 forthwith. Agenda item number 18, subcontractor substitution in Council District 1, Servitech Solutions. Recommending the board concur with the action of Commissioner Davis approving the request of Servitech Solutions for the subcontractor substitution of Advantage Directional Drilling with Ventura Directional Drilling to perform half of the directional drilling and jacking portion of the work, and Premier Broadband Services Incorporated to perform the remaining portion of the work for the Bel Air Beverly Crest Unit 1 series to multiple high voltage conversion, fiscal year 2016-17 street lighting project. Mr. Espindola.
Yes. Again, the Bureau received a request on June 28, 2017 from Servitech Solutions to substitute their subcontractor, Advantage Directional Drilling, a OBE subcontractor, for directional drilling and jacking operations with Ventura Directional Drilling, a WBE SBE contractor, and Premier Broadband Services, a OBE subcontractor. The request was accompanied by a letter from Advantage Directional Drilling withdrawing from their portion of the work. The bid listed amount for Advantage Directional Drilling was $240,000. Ventura Directional Drilling and Premier Broadband Services will perform the work for the same amount. Therefore, there is no substitution. Therefore, this substitution is at no cost to the city. The Bureau concurs with the recommendations of Commissioner Davis to approve the substitution.
Is this the same issue on subcontractor availability?
That's correct. It's the same issue.
Is there a motion on number 18 by Commissioner Davis? Is there a second? By Commissioner Jacinto and Commissioner Rivas. Without objection, we'll adopt number 18. Any issue sending 18 forthwith? We will send number 18 forthwith. Number 19, subcontractor substitution, Kemp Brothers Construction, Council District 1. Recommending that the board concur with the action of Commissioner Davis approving the request of Kemp Brothers Construction for the subcontractor substitution of Preferred Heating and Air Conditioning Incorporated with Sheldon Mechanical Corporation to perform the warranty and repair work for the Los Angeles Police Department Police Academy project, replacing training facility and administration building and cafe and 4 shooting ranges renovation. Mr. Smith, you're here on number 19.
Yes, good morning. Chris Smith, Bureau of Contract Administration. The Bureau received this request July 7, 2017 from Kemp Brothers, requesting to substitute Preferred Heating and Air Conditioning, their SBE subcontractor for HVAC work, with Sheldon Mechanical Corporation, an OBE subcontractor, to perform warranty and repair work on the project. The request was accompanied by a letter from Preferred Heating and Air Conditioning withdrawing from their warranty and repair portion of the work. The bid listed amount for Preferred's portion of the HVAC work is $1,760,305. Preferred has performed $1,660,305 of their contract work, a difference of $100,000. Sheldon will complete Preferred's warranty and repair portion of the work for this amount. Therefore, the substitution will be at no additional cost to the city, and the Bureau concurs with the recommendation of Commissioner Davis to approve this substitution.
Any questions on number 19? Commissioner Davis has made a motion to adopt number 19, seconded by Commissioner Jacinto. Any objection? With that objection, we will adopt number 19. Any issue sending number 19 forthwith? We will send number 19 forthwith. Number 20 is another Servitech, Council District 5, recommending that the board concur with the action of Commissioner Davis approving the request of Servitech Solutions for the subcontractor substitution of Advantage Directional Drilling with Ventura Directional Drilling to perform half of the directional drilling and jacking portion of the work, and Premier Broadband Services to perform the remaining portion of the work for the West Side Unit 1 series to multiple high voltage fiscal year 16-17 street lighting project. Mr. Espindola, again on number 20.
Correct. George Spindola, Bureau of Contract Administration. The Bureau received this request on July 6, 2017 from Servitech Solutions. To substitute their subcontractor, Advantage Directional Drilling, a OBE subcontractor, for directional drilling and jacking operations with Ventura Directional Drilling, a WBE, SBE contractor, and Premier Broadband Services, a OBE contractor. The request was again accompanied by a letter from Advantage Directional Drilling withdrawing from their portion of the work. The bid listed amount for the Advantage Directional Drilling was $190,025.60. Ventura Directional Drilling and Premier Broadband Services will perform the work for $191,000. Servitech will reduce its participation by $974.40 so that the work performed by Ventura Directional Drilling and Premier Broadband will be at no cost to the city. The Bureau concurs with the recommendations of Commissioner Davis to approve the substitution.
Questions on number 20? This is the Servitech, same issue. So Commissioner Davis has made a motion on number 20, seconded by Commissioner Jacinto. Any objection? With that objection, we will adopt number 20. Any issue sending it forthwith? We'll send number 20 forthwith. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 21, Council District 3, subcontractor substitution, Thrifty Tree Services, recommending the board concur with the action of Commissioner Davis, approving the request of Thrifty for the subcontractor substitution of IECLT with Thrifty's own forces to perform the tree trimming in the parkways of Lockhurst Drive from Friar Street to Victory Boulevard and certain other areas. Mr. Smith on number 21.
Yes, good morning once again. The Bureau received this request June 2nd, 2017 from Thrifty Tree Service to substitute IECLT Inc., their DVBE subcontractor for tree trimming work with their own forces. Accompanying their request was a letter from IECLT Inc. withdrawing from this portion of the work due to equipment loss that they experienced. The bid listed amount for IECLT's Inc. portion of the work was $20,690.15. However, the amount submitted for approval by Thrifty was $26,253, a difference of $5,562.85. Thrifty will decrease its prime participation by that $5,560.85 so that the work performed by their own forces will be at no additional cost to the city. And the Bureau concurs with the recommendation of Commissioner Davis to approve the substitution.
All right. Any questions on number 21? Commissioner Davis has made a motion that we adopt 21, seconded by Commissioner Jacinto. Any objection? With that objection, we'll adopt number 21. Any issue sending 21 forthwith? We will send number 21 forthwith. Number 22, specifications have been submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids. This is in Council District 11 for the secondary sewer renewal program C05 Lincoln Boulevard and Rose Avenue. Estimate $1,171,902. The bid receipt date is Wednesday, September 27th, 2017. Is there a second to my motion that we adopt agenda item 22 forthwith by Commissioner Davis? Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Going back to agenda item number 3, task order solicitation number 3, DR Consultants and Designers Incorporated, computer-aided design and drafting services, recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to issue the task to DR Consultants Minority Business Enterprise, Women Business Enterprise, Small Business Enterprise, Emerging Business Enterprise, Contract C129655 from the pre-qualified on-call wastewater and environmental engineering services consultants list to provide CAD support services as stated in the task order solicitation number 3, with a cost ceiling not to exceed $6 million, including contingency. Mr. Cirillo will tell us what we're doing here.
Mike Cirillo, Bureau of Engineering. This task order is to provide experts in our office that specialize in computer-aided design, CAD software, and design. We use some advanced software that allows us to do 3D modeling of projects, which is useful for client presentations to show the client what the facility is going to look like. We're able to walk through and take sections through the model at any time. We're also implementing something called clash detection, which is a way you design things, and the software will determine whether or not you have any errors or conflicts in your design, because it can determine the routing of utilities and whether you've run into a wall or a column. So it's really advanced stuff, and we're trying to get better at it because we think that's the way to go for CAD design. So this task order is to bring those experts into our office to do this type of work, and also to help train some city staff so we can get better at using this stuff. We received 3 proposals on this task order, and again, the same senior civil engineer staff reviewed the proposals and selected DR Consultants as the highest ranked consultant, and it was for the following reasons. Again, they were the lowest price. They were able to retain some of our existing staff and bring them on board to join their firm, which minimizes the learning curve and makes it easier for us to hit the ground running, so to speak, when those folks get into our office. DR actually did some of this work for us over 5 years ago, and we were very happy with the service we received from them. They brought the technical experts that we were looking for to move us into the next generation with this software. And as you mentioned, DR is themselves an MBE, WB, SBE, and EBE, and has exceeded the numbers in the task order. And it's for this reason we are recommending the award to DR Consultants.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Cirillo. Commissioner Davis.
I wanted to ask about DR Consultants. They've worked with us before successfully. Are they located in Los Angeles County? Are they LA County?
Yes, they are.
Oh, they are. Great.
Right downtown.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Commissioner Cinto? It's hard to see there. Commissioner Cinto?
Thank you, Mike. This TOS, CAD Support Services, kind of takes us to the next level of our project.
I mean, we're already there. We're doing some of it, but we know that we have some way to go, and we want to get better at it and really enhance our design. So yeah, this is going to help us do that.
And this TOS will help build our capacity internally with our own staff to be able to use that as well.
Yeah, we can use these folks to train we have a few CAD folks in our office, and we can use them to train the city staff so we can get better at the software ourselves.
Is that $600 million that you stated earlier in wastewater the amount of work that this CAD TOS will support as well?
Yes, it's all part of the wastewater treatment plant program. The $600 million is this. Yeah.
Great. So happy to support that, as well as them being kind of a forfer. They're like an all-star. We be, me be, SB, EBE.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Great.
Anything further on number 3? I don't have any questions on number 3. I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 3, seconded by Commissioner Cinto. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 3. Any issue sending number 3 forthwith? We will send number 3 forthwith. Mr. Cirillo, you're here on number 4, task order solicitation number 4, AECOM Technical Services, recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to issue the task to AECOM from the pre-qualified on-call wastewater and environmental engineering services consultants list to provide construction number 4 with a cost ceiling not to exceed $8 million, including contingency. You'll explain that for us. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, task order 4 is for construction management support services, and what this task order does is it provides us essentially with construction managers as needed as the workload increases, and we can't cover that with city staff, but it also provides schedulers who are responsible for reviewing contractor baselines and updates and monitoring the progress of work throughout construction. That's something that the city does not, that expertise does not exist within the city, at least at a civil service class. We can also, through this task order, bring on claims experts. So in the event that we have a problem with a contractor and it looks like the project is not going well, we can bring in experts to advise us on the claims front as well to avoid costly litigation down the road. The construction managers will be located on site, and so they will be interfacing with plant personnel to ensure that the needs of the plant are met, and also to minimize interruptions or any line breakages with the plant operations, because we certainly don't want to do that. So the CM is responsible to coordinate all activities during construction and interface that with the plant. So under this task order, we received 6 proposals, and we selected AECOM as the highest ranked consultant, and again reviewed by the senior civil engineering staff in my office. AECOM again was the lowest price. They have made several acquisitions over the years and have built their CM resources up, and they have a wide variety of resources available to us. They gave us qualified technical staff with extensive wastewater treatment plant experience, which is exactly what we need. We did reference checks with other municipalities with them, in particular LA County, and they gave very positive reviews on the service provided by AECOM. And they have a very diversified team of sub-consultants, and again exceeded the MEB, WEB, SBE, EB levels in the TOS. So it's for this reason we recommend award of this TOS to AECOM.
Commissioner Jacinto.
Thank you. Mike, on this one, I understand that AECOM is a new provider for this construction management services.
This is new.
So what that tells us is that we're continually looking at quality control and being competitive so that the firms that compete for these TOSs, these task orders, are the best in terms of service and quality. And we're continually updating. And after 5 years, obviously, every 5 years we do this. But it's important that we do this to get the best price and the best quality of service, right?
Yes, anytime we advertise these task orders, all 24 firms are allowed to submit proposals, and we objectively review them and select the top-rated firm.
That's a good process. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Anything further on number 4, Commissioner Davis?
Yeah, I appreciate the question of Commissioner Jacinto in terms of our ability to be flexible and the opportunity and pipeline for growth and development among prime contractors. To that end, what are we doing to make sure that the same opportunities can exist for subcontractors that primes are responsible for appointing, so that we create new opportunities so that there are primes that may not be considered now in the future, knowledge and skill gained by those, and that they too can have the very same opportunity that AECOM had at the prime level. What are we doing about that?
Well, Commissioner Jacinto and I have attended events together and organized events together, and what we try to do is just communicate, get the word out. So the Bureau of Engineering will typically have a table set up at some of these outreach events, and we'll bring all of our current project information. We'll have a spokesperson there all day. We'll meet and greet folks and tell them about the business opportunities available. We'll encourage them to sign up for the BAVN system and get into our system so they can get notifications. And we're always outreaching to the primes to also outreach down to their subs as well. They all have, let's say, roughly 50, 60 subs on their current contracts. So even the subs that are listed in these board reports, they're not limited to just only using those subs. So we're constantly encouraging that they outreach and look at their menu of sub-consultants to try to reach out to them for other experience we may need.
Good. I think we can grow in that area, and I'm very glad to see that we're moving in that direction, and I look forward in anticipation for the results to that end.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Anything further on number 4? Is there a motion on number 4 by Commissioner Jacinto, seconded by Commissioner Davis? Any objection? With that objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 4. Any issues sending 4 forthwith? Thank you, sir. Mr. Redd, would you hang out just to see me after the meeting briefly? Thank you. Agenda item number 12. Council District 11, Bureau of Street Services, tree removal, 3625 through 3760, block of Centinela Avenue, sidewalk repair program. Asking that the board find that the tree removal classifies as operation, repair, maintenance, or minor alteration of existing sidewalk, street, and gutter involving negligible or no expansion of use beyond that previously existing and does not involve the removal of a scenic resource. Number 2, that the action is exempt under Article 3, Section 1, Class 1, Category 3, existing facilities, sidewalk repair or maintenance of the City of Los Angeles Environmental Quality Act guidelines from 2002. And number 3, that none of the exceptions to the use of a categorical exemption as set forth in Section 15300.2 of the state CEQA guidelines apply. And number 2, review and approve this tree removal permit request for the removal of, the agenda item says 15. It looks like we're amending it to be just 12 trees, not 15, but 12 trees, located on blocks 3625 through 3760 of Centinela Avenue for the reconstruction of an off-grade sidewalk. Tree replacements are required. Dr. Williams, you have a card in on number 12.
Dr. Tom Williams, LA 32 Neighborhood Council, Sierra Club, Water Committee, et cetera, et cetera. Basic, was this ever circulated to the neighborhood council for this area? That's an interesting question. Since we have urban forestry, we have cities, forest advisory committee, but there's no contacts with the neighborhood councils. A department of the City of Los Angeles. Shouldn't they be notified in a timely fashion, say 30 days in advance, so that they can evaluate? We had a similar situation occur on Huntington Drive North, but now the notices have been taken off the trees. We only knew it because there was a notice on the tree. Now the notices have been taken off without any communications with the LA 32 Neighborhood Council. So we would like to have all neighborhood councils be informed in a timely fashion regarding any tree removals, more than 2, in their jurisdiction. Simple question. We have internet connections. All you have to do is go to Dunn and they'll give you all of the contact numbers. So there's a problem here. It's called communications. And in this age, hey, there's no excuse. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Mr. Tyson on number 12.
President James, Commissioners, Bureau Representatives, City Attorney, and Executive Officer. This item was continued from August 4th due to a letter I think that was received that I have in my package, and the community getting with the council office representatives, Debbie Diner-Harris, who is the district director, and Len Nguyen, who is one of the council people that we went out, and I'm going to give this. We went out at the request of the board. We had a walkthrough a week or so ago. We walked the entire stretch, which is from like Charnock to Venice Boulevard, where all the 16 trees are located. When the board report was written, it wasn't written in here that actually one tree was being saved. And then after the walkthrough, I looked at 3 other trees that we can save with root pruning, and I'll get into the meat and potatoes here. The Bureau of Engineering is the lead agency in identifying effective sidewalks at several locations throughout the City of Los Angeles as part of the citywide sidewalk repair program. Bureau of Engineering and its contractors are working in close collaboration with the Bureau of Street Services in addressing potential impacts to street trees adjacent to the targeted locations. Bureau of Engineering representative contacted the Bureau in reference to the reconstruction of off-grade sidewalk conditions on the 3625 through 3760 block of Centinela Avenue on both sides of the street. A Bureau arborist inspected the subject location on February 28, 2017. The inspection revealed 15 Indian laurel fig trees measuring approximately 40 to 60 inches in diameter at chest height by 30 to 50 feet in height, all growing in 4x4 or they're 4-foot parkways in fair condition. The sidewalks are going to be removed and replaced due to the uplift and severe disruption by the roots and the root crowns of the subject trees. The trees have severely outgrown their planting space that was provided in the beginning when they were planted. If you look at the photos that I provided, the very first photo says 3739 and it says light. That tree right there that's wrapped around that light will be removed. This is the two trees at the location where Dr.
The doctor.
Holly Walker, attorney at law, sent in a letter about these two trees here where the sidewalk had been replaced some years ago.
Right.
The tree to the right of the first picture that you're looking at, if you go to the second page, you'll see both trees. You can see how the tree was trimmed in order to have light going through it, and that's why that tree is going to be removed. Wrong tree, wrong place. The tree next to it, it has open area to the rear of the sidewalk, so therefore there's no wall, there's no solid infrastructure there. So we're going to allow this tree to remain, and we're going to have to do some root pruning in the parkway. The severe root pruning that took place on this tree you can't see on the opposite side where the sidewalk is at.
You can tell, though, because if you look at that farthest to the right root, you can see how it's built up. And that indicates the severe root pruning that was done.
Well, and so since that tree was already severely root pruned, we're going to have to root prune it a little more to put in a new sidewalk. But let me get through there's also a package of all the trees.
Can you still save this one? Page.
Yes, this one we're going to save. The one, it says 3737.
Yeah, can you safely save that tree so that in a wind of, I mean, I know you can't guarantee it, but so you can save it to the Bureau's satisfaction?
We're going to do surface grinding in the parkway to lessen the severity of the roots that trail out and bring it back into a 6x6 type well if there was a well there, and lessen that severity.
Okay.
If at any time, the 4 trees that I'm going to talk to you about right now that we're saving, if at any time the curbs ever have to be fixed, the trees will have to be removed. But
We're
they're
not at that point yet.
No.
Okay.
And so my sustainability plan for this location is to try to save 4 trees, 2 on each side of the street, while we replant 26 other trees and watch them grow and monitor these 4 trees with periodic root pruning on the sidewalk side of the tree, probably once every 3 years. But you can see 3654, this tree's not too bad. We can do the curb's not in bad shape. And then the third tree, which is at 3712, and the other 2 trees next to it will be coming out. And the last one, which is picture number 4, is the one tree that wasn't even mentioned into this report is being saved because it was going to be root pruned. So we have 2 trees on each side of the street, minus the 12 that need to be removed, with replacements of 26 trees. And the replacements will be 24-inch box size water gum Tristania laurina trees to be replanted at 3709, 13, 19, 27, 33, 37, 41, 45, 57, 30, 20, 12, 62, 58, 54, 40, 3610, 3606 will have 2 trees. 12406 Victoria will have 3. And 12404 Maccoon will have 2 trees, and 3754 Colony Avenue will have 2 trees, which is 26 replants. Now, this is something that we're going to try with these 4 ficus trees that is borderline as far as will they survive. I am not worried about the destabilization of the trees, which is usually the worry of a tree's going to fall over. My worry is the trees may succumb to some root disease that may enter through the large cuts on the root zone. So we will monitor the 4 trees, but this will at least give a couple of nice-sized trees while we wait for the other trees to grow.
So, Tim, we appreciate the work that you all did with the council office and the community on this. I know that CFAC was notified as per the board report, but the board report also includes a stack of consent forms from the adjacent property owners that are arguably the most affected by the tree removal, and they, if you look at these photos, these sidewalks are some of the textbook Willits sidewalks, and it's clear that from the consent forms from the community that they are pleased to have the new sidewalks and the accessibility that comes with them.
That's an absolute. I actually sat down on one of the edges of the sidewalk, and my feet were dangling off the edge of the sidewalk. It was so raised, like 2 feet, large roots this big around.
I mean, it takes a lot. We know it takes a lot of time and effort to be able to reach out and get all of the community, individual adjacent owner support that the Bureau is doing. So we appreciate that, and it's showing up in the board report. And again, thank you for the additional work that came at the request of the council office with the community. Commissioner Davis?
I just wanted to observe that I'm very glad to see the examples of trees that we were able to save. We often talk about the need to do so. It's really refreshing to see it for yourself. So thank you for giving us some of the examples of being able to do that.
Being the species ficus, they are root prunable, but you have to have certain situation where you could actually apply that root pruning and try this. This is a little pilot right here for these 4 trees.
Okay. Anything further? Commissioner Rivas?
No, I'm also surprised and glad that you were able to save some of these trees. I know these are mature trees, and for this area to lose all of them at once while the others are growing, I'm sure they would appreciate at least attempting to save some of them, right? I have a question on one of the areas. Is it 3606, the photo, 3606 Centinela? Was that like a tree that was already removed, or it's part of the roots? Just curious if that was already a tree that has been removed.
Which
from the
package of pictures,
It's
Commissioner?
in your board report, the like the 8x10 photo.
Okay, so it's in
It's at the bottom. It's labeled 3606 Centinela.
Yes. Yes, you can see these roots.
And that looks. Is that a tree that was already removed?
No, that's
part of
actually the
roots
base
too?
of the tree growing underneath the sidewalk. Am I in the wrong picture?
Oh, is it the next? Yeah, I don't. They're not I don't think this is numbered. So at the bottom in red it says 3606. I don't know. Can't see. Was that a tree that was removed? You see this? I'm sorry. Maybe I can.
Okay, I see what you're looking at. You're looking at the little red ringed
Yeah.
bricks.
Yes.
That might have been a rose bush that was in there or something at
Oh,
one time. I have no
not that.
idea.
Okay. Thanks.
But
I thought
that's
maybe
only-
that was already a tree in the past that had been removed.
It could have been at some time a small tree that was there, but we didn't remove it. It's just nothing there. It's just the bricks are still there.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Rivas. Anything else? Commissioner Cinto, I'm sorry, the cord keeps your light from shining for me. There we go.
There you go.
Commissioner
Thank you,
Cinto.
Tim. Appreciate that. Tim, thank you for this. You know, it's important to note that we're taking the sidewalk down a foot because there's enough room to be able to do that. So this is a combination of tree preservation as well as where we can, as a policy, that we are shortening or slimming the sidewalk. Is that a meandering sidewalk? Is that from property to property? Are we doing that the whole block?
No, it's going to be a straight sidewalk all the way through.
The whole block?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're still able to provide access, ADA, we're able to solve many issues and save the trees.
Well, let's put this as this, they're temporarily saved. But it's only for how long will they last before they start looking like they're going to start damaging more stuff.
Correct.
Or if they succumb to a disease. But I would say if they need to replace the curbs and they do any street realignment or anything like that, then the trees will have to be removed because then you be root pruning them on two sides.
True. No, given the fact that we're going to monitor that other side, but the fact that we're able to, as a city, being able to take that sidewalk down a little bit, still give access 4 feet. That's an important thing, policy decision and tactic, and I appreciate our Bureau for taking that wherever we can, so that we're maintaining and preserving trees wherever we can, if there's enough sidewalk room, Tim.
Correct, Commissioner. Wherever I feel that we could put a tree on the root pruning program and we can save it for as long as we can, then that's what we'll do.
Anything further on number 12? I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 12, seconded by, as amended, amended to say 12 trees.
That is
Something
correct,
else?
Mr. President. Removal of 12 trees, and then the replacement will now be 24 on page number 2 of the report.
We're actually planting more, but that's okay.
It's going to be 20.
Well, no. In other words, I said we're replanting 26. We're planting more than the 24 required. But yes, you're correct, Doug.
So the amendment's only 12.
12 removals.
12 removals.
12 removals. And the replacements stay the same? Or the...
No, because a couple of the trees would be where we would have planted some of the trees, so we're going to replant 26 trees.
Okay. So the motion is to adopt agenda item number 12 for the removal of 12 trees. The replacement will be 26 trees.
Yes.
All right. Is there a second on that? By Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 12. Any issue sending number 12 forthwith? We will send number 12 forthwith. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 15. Council District 1, contract acceptance, Albion Dairy demolition and remediation. Recommending that the board accept the contract. Secondly, assess national demolition contractors with a penalty in the amount of $3,700 for the unauthorized substitution of 2 bid-listed WBE subcontractors for the reasons discussed in the report. And thirdly, instruct the Director, Office of Accounting, to disencumber the recommended city penalty in the amount of $3,700 from the project, and then release the remaining funds to the contractor. No cards on 15. Ms. McGlinchey, I understand you might need to amend number 15, so you'll tell us what's going on?
Yes, good morning. Linda McGlinchey, Bureau of Contract Administration. As stated, we are recommending a penalty in the amount of $3,700 for the unauthorized substitution of 2 bid-listed WBE subcontractors. Should the board approve that, then recommendation number 3 should be to disencumber the recommended city penalty in the amount of $3,700, but there's nothing to release in terms of any remaining funds to the contractor, so that last part should be struck. Specifically, National Demolition listed 2 WBE subcontractors, Blue Sky Remediation Services and Supply, to perform signature and traffic control work for $3,000. Staff confirmed that they performed a total of $598.89 worth of work. We informed the contractor that there was a potential penalty of $300, which is 10% of the bid listed amount. The contractor never offered any explanation as to the reduction, so we are recommending that penalty. The second WBE subcontractor is Hydrosprout Incorporated, who was bid listed to perform hydro seeding work for $34,000. Staff confirmed that they performed a total of $12,354.20 worth of work. So the contractor may be assessed a penalty of $3,400, which is 10% of the $34,000 that they were bid listed for. When we informed the contractor of this, they responded that the work had changed, that the hydro seeding work was basically deleted, and in so doing, they explained to us that they had submitted an RFI, or request for information, to the Bureau of Engineering, in which they suggested using hydro mulch instead of hydro seeding, and they said that Hydro Sprout, their approved subcontractor, would do this work instead. Bureau of Engineering agreed to this change, but because they believed that the cost was the same for hydromulching as hydroseeding, they did not pursue any change order. Therefore, it was expected that Hydro Sprout would still perform $34,000 worth of work. As such, we are recommending that penalty of $3,400 be assessed with regards to Hydro Sprout, so the two penalties together equal the $3,700.
The savings still goes to the contractor, though, correct?
We would assume so. We certainly paid them with the expectation that $34,000 was going to go to the subcontract.
Yeah, and we don't have them here protesting the penalty. Okay, any questions on agenda item number 15? So Commissioner Davis has made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 15 as amended to remove the words "and to release the remaining funds to the contractor." I'll second that. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 15 as amended. Any issue sending it forthwith? We will send it forthwith. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 16, authority for expenditure. Pierre Landscape Incorporated, Bureau of Street Services and Office of Accounting is requesting board approval and an execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $17,063.39 for month-to-month sidewalk maintenance assessment district services for the Wilshire Miracle Mile Sidewalk Maintenance District from July 31, 2017 through August 31, 2017, while a new contract is established. Sergio Samoya.
Hi, good morning,
Hi.
members of the board. I'm here with Bureau of Street Services requesting and representing the Financial Management Division, respectfully requesting on behalf of Office of Accounting and Bureau of Street Services approval and execution of authority for expenditure of $17,063.39 to extend a month-to-month contract with Pierre Landscape Incorporated to avoid a gap in services associated with the Wilshire Miracle Mile Sidewalk Maintenance Assessment District. Pierre Landscape has been providing services for all of the 2016-2017 fiscal year, and they've actually been a contractor since 2007. We've completed the RFP for the new contractor and are in the process of finalizing the actual contract document and approving the award for the new contractor that is going to take the place permanently. So the scope includes nighttime sidewalk maintenance, cleaning and washing, maintenance of the landscape medians, curbs and gutters, collection of trash from receptacles, landscape maintenance including tree trimming and other necessary cleanup and maintenance related work within the boundaries of the Wilshire Miracle Mile. So the status is at this time, we're finalizing the joint report between Bureau of Street Services and Bureau of Contract Administration. It's actually being routed right now through the Bureau of Contract Administration. So the board report is forthcoming for the award of the contract, the permanent contract. And then the contract itself is being reviewed by the city attorney as to form.
Okay. Do you think that continuing it, extending this contract through August 31 is enough to bridge the gap?
At this point, because when we came up with a date, we consulted with the CAO's office, and that was the date we came up with, and that's the date we're going to target to get this done.
Okay. Then I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 16, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we will adopt number 16. Can we send it forthwith? We will send number 16 forthwith. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. Campos, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
Okay, then we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.